Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome to the next topic of Fundamental of Business Analytics. I am Dr. Saifullah and today we are going to explore one of the most practically powerful topic in the field of analytics, that is time series analysis and forecasting. Whether you are a business manager trying to anticipate next quarter's demand, a financial analyst projecting revenue growth, or an operations professional planning inventory, the ability to look at data collected over time and extract meaningful patterns from it is an absolute indispensable skill. Think about it in this way: every business decisions that involve the word next month's sales, next quarter's productions, next year's budget is fundamentally a forecasting problem. And time series analysis is the scientific foundation upon which good forecasts are built. Today we will cover four major areas. First, we will discuss the different patterns that time series data can exhibit, and I want you to develop the habit of visually recognizing these patterns before reaching for any model. Secondly, we will study forecast accuracy metrics, because a forecast without a measure of its accuracy is really just an educated guess. Third, we will look at smoothing methods, a powerful yet elegant technique like moving average and exponential smoothing. And finally, we will connect time series forecasting to linear regression, bringing in trend lines, seasonality, and causal models. So let's begin. Before we dive into patterns and models, let us make sure we have a precise definition in mind. A time series is a sequence of observations on a variable measured at successive points in time or over successive periods of time, recorded at equal intervals. I want to highlight that phrase equal intervals. This is not just a technical formality, it is what gives time series its structure and makes systematic forecasting possible. If your data points are irregularly spaced, standard time series technique will not directly apply without some pre-processing. Now, time series can be recorded at many frequencies. At the hourly level, think of stock prices or website traffic, data that is extremely granular and often quite volatile. Moving to the daily levels, we have things like daily sales revenues or temperature readings. At the weekly level, inventory levels or product demand are common examples. Monthly data is perhaps most common in business setting. Employment figures, retail sales, monthly revenue reports. Then we have quarterly data such as GDP figures or corporate earnings, which are the heartbeat of financial reporting cycles. And finally, the annual level, we observe long-term indicators like population growth or decade-long GDP trends. The frequencies of your data will heavily influence which forecasting method are most appropriate. Keep this in mind as we progress through today's lecture. The first and perhaps most critical step in any time series analysis is pattern identification. Before you build a single model, you should plot your data and ask, what is this data telling me? Over the years, analysts have identified 5 fundamental patterns that time series data can exhibit. Let us go through each one carefully. The first pattern is a horizontal pattern, also referred to as stationary time series. A horizontal pattern exists when data fluctuates randomly around a constant mean over time. The value go up, they come down, but they always return to roughly the same average level, and critically, the variability, the degree of fluctuation remains consistent throughout. For a time series to be truly stationary, two conditions must be met. First, it must have a constant mean. The process generating the data has a stable average with no systematic drift upward or downward. Second, it must have constant variance. The spread of values around that mean does not increase or decrease over time. Now, look at this chart. We are looking at 12 weeks of sales data measured in thousands of gallons. Notice how the values rise and fall from week to week, but they consistently hover around 19,000 gallons per week. There is no clear direction, no upward march, no downward slide, just random variations around a stable mean. This is a horizontal or stationary time series. When we encounter this pattern, our forecasting goal is simple: estimate that stable mean and use it as our forecast. Techniques like the simple moving average and simple exponential smoothing are ideally suited for this problem. The second pattern is the trend pattern. A trend exists when the time series shows a gradual sustained shift either upward or downward over a longer period of time. Unlike random fluctuations, a trend is driven by persistent long run forces. What causes a trend? Many things. Population shifts can drive long run demand for housings, healthcare, and consumer goods. Technological improvements can drive growth in productivity or adoption of new products. The competitive landscape, the entry or exit of major players can cause systematic decline or growth in the company's sales. Consumer preferences evolve over time and decades, shifting demand from one category to another, and sometimes growth follows an exponential path. Think of the early adoption curve for smartphones or pharmaceutical drugs gaining market acceptance. Here we have motorcycle sale data spanning from 2014 to 2024. The values start at approximately 21,600 units and grows to around 31,400 units by 2024. If we fit a straight line, a trend line, through this data, we see a clear, consistent upward movement of regularly 1100 units per year. That yellow line you see on chart is not just decorative. It represents the underlying direction of the series, the signal beneath the noise. This is what linear regression on time will capture when we use it for forecasting. I want you to appreciate something important here. The actual data points bounce above and below this trend line. That is the random variation we expect in any real world data set, but the direction is unmistakable. That is the trend. The third pattern is seasonal pattern, and this is one of the most practically important pattern for business analysts. Seasonal patterns are recurring fluctuations that are tied to specific calendar periods. They repeat predictably within a year, within a week, or even within a single day. Consider the within day level. Rush hour traffic peaks in the morning and evening. Restaurant sales spike around lunch and dinner. These are seasonal effects at the intraday level. At the weekly levels, retail sales consistently spike on weekends. At the monthly levels, payroll processing systems see high load at the end of each month. At the quarterly levels, umbrella sales peak during rainy seasons and smartphones demand surge. New models are released. And the yearly level, holiday shopping creates a most famous seasonal pattern of all, the December surge in retail. Look at this umbrella sales chart. We have 20 quarters of data from 2020 through 2024. See how quarter 2, the second quarter, is always the highest in every single year, and quarter 4 consistently falls to the lowest level. This wave-like pattern repeating precisely every 4 quarters is classic quarterly seasonality. This is not random variation, this is a predictable calendar driven structure, and if you ignore it in your forecasting model, you will make systematic errors, under forecasting in peak periods and over forecasting in slow periods. Look at this quarterly smartphone sale data. Notice how the overall level is rising year over year. That is the trend, but within each year. There are also clear quarterly peaks and troughs. That is the seasonal effect. When both patterns are present, you must model both. A model that captures only the trend will miss the seasonal variations, and the model that captures only seasonality will fail to account for the long run growth. We need to use techniques like multiple linear regression with dummy variables, which we will cover in our regression section, to handle these combined patterns correctly. The fifth and final pattern is the cyclical patterns, and I want to be very careful here because students frequently confuse cyclical patterns with seasonal patterns. Let me draw a sharp distinction. A cyclical pattern like seasonal shows waves, periods of growth followed by periods of decline. But there are two critical differences. First, cyclical patterns last more than 1 year. A single cycle typically spans 2 to 10 or even more years. Second, and this is crucial, cycles are irregular. Unlike seasons, which repeat on fixed calendar schedules, our cyclical patterns have no predictable timing. You cannot say the next downturn will begin in quarter 3 of next year. That is what makes them so difficult to forecast. Cyclical patterns are most commonly associated with business and economic cycles, the kind that macroeconomists and central bankers spend their careers studying. The global financial crisis of 2008, for example, was the part of broader economic cycle, not a seasonal pattern. In practice, cyclical effects are often merged with long-term trends and referred to as trend cycle effects. You detect them by looking for long, sustained runs of observation that consistently stay above or below the trend line. Look at this chart from 2005 to roughly 2009. Sales are above the long run trend. Then they dip below for a few years and they recover and surge again, then fall again. These are multi-year cycles, slow, broad waves that bear no resemblance to the neat quarterly seasonality we saw earlier. Let me bring these 5 patterns together in a quick reference summary because I want you to be able to apply this immediately. A horizontal pattern, constant mean, random fluctuations, calls for moving average or exponential smoothing. A trend pattern, gradual directional shift, calls for linear regression or a trend line. A seasonal pattern repeating periodic fluctuations calls for dummy variable regression. When trend and seasonal are both present, we use multiple linear regression with both trend and dummy variable. And a cyclical pattern, long irregular waves spanning more than a year, requires advanced trend cycle modeling. I encourage you to take any time series dataset you encounter, whether it is your company's sale data, national employment figures, or even your own monthly expenses, and ask yourself, which of these 5 patterns do I see? That exhibit alone will make you a more disciplined analyst. This concludes our first section on time series patterns. We have covered the 5 fundamental patterns: horizontal, trend, seasonal, trend plus seasonal, and cyclical. And for each one, we have discussed what it looks like, what causes it, and what forecasting approach it calls for. In our next session, we will shift to in our next session we will apply these forecasting approaches for different patterns of the time series. And finally, in the last session, we will apply forecast accuracy metrics because knowing how to build forecast is only half of the job. Knowing how to evaluate it is equally important. We will explore different tools and understand when to use each. I look forward to see you in the next segment. Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.